Hi, everyone. We're so glad you're back for another episode. And if you guys just found our podcast, we're so happy you're here to hang out with us. So Cynthia and I have been talking about how much we are loving all the sunshine and all the flowers that are blooming.
Yes, we are loving that spring has sprung.
Yes.
In California anyway.
Yeah,
yes.
We hope it's sprung where you guys are too.
Yes, because we're enjoying it for sure.
Totally. And so we have a couple of areas in our front yard that we plant flowers every year. And every year I'm always super excited to talk to Steve about what should we do? Should we do zinnias or should we do snapdragons? Well, last year we did African daisies and they were gorgeous. And it was so fun too because neighbors were walking by and they were walking their dog and they would be like, what kind of flowers are those? Those are gorgeous. And African daisies, we just did 5 or 6 different colors. And so
pretty, yeah.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that I've been kind of during the winter time just thinking, oh, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Because sometimes we'll even do pansies or petunias. But then all of a sudden I started noticing all these green things popping up where the flowers had died, and they totally came back. So Cynthia and I were doing some research, and they're perennials. They come back every year. And so now I don't really get to plant new flowers because now all of these African daisies are coming up. But
that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. I did want to switch it up a little bit. And even yesterday when I was out running errands, I was like, I think I'm going to stop by Home Depot and get some more because there's some little areas where on the side yard and in the front yard that there's gaps in the flowers that didn't really fill in very well.
Right.
But I was so busy yesterday I didn't get a chance to stop and do that.
Oh, wow.
So I put it on my to-do list to do another day this week.
Oh,
but
yeah. My backyard is looking just gorgeous too. And I think that's why I love this time of year so much. It's just, I have azaleas all across my backyard in front of a big a bed where there are rhododendron.
Oh, rhododendrons.
Rhododendrons.
Yes, those are
beautiful. And they're blooming. And then I have camellias that are budded, but they haven't bloomed yet.
Oh.
But the azaleas are pink and dark pink, light pink, dark pink, all the way across my backyard. And every year they do this, every year they bloom out. And I'm just like, oh my God, these are
so cheerful.
Pretty. It really is. And I am going to take some pictures, and I am going to post some of those.
That'll be great.
It is so pretty. It will make you smile because it is just
And azaleas, when they bloom, it's they're just on the outside of the entire bush.
Yes.
Top and sides, depending
everywhere.
It's just so gorgeous.
It is.
And actually, our camellias, you would notice that our camellias in our backyard had totally bloomed early.
Yeah, because mine are only budded.
Yeah.
So I'm always wondering, if maybe mine's not facing the sun enough because she also has Gerber daisies in the front, and I have Gerber daisies in the back. Mine have not bloomed yet. I just noticed my one has these little baby flowers just coming out. But hers have already bloomed. I saw those last week.
Yeah.
And hers are already out and bloomed. So I'm thinking it's a sunshine thing.
Yeah. Maybe we get more direct sunlight in the back or the front yard in comparison with where your house is on your street.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Interesting.
But
well,
I'm so fun.
I know, it is.
And I want to start my garden too.
Yeah.
I love doing tomatoes.
Yes.
Because tomatoes taste so delicious when they're homegrown.
There's so much flavor.
Just so much different than, anything. I have grown green peppers, and I've grown cucumbers, and I've done a lot of different things, and honestly, they don't taste that much different than the grocery store.
Oh.
But a tomato.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It is night and day.
It is so true. Because honestly, there's times I get a tomato at the grocery store. It doesn't have any flavor.
It has no flavor.
It just feels cold in your mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, with some little, seeds.
Yeah.
I know.
That is so interesting to me. I don't know what they do. Maybe just, I don't know, mass produce them, or I don't know.
I think what they do is they pick them off the vine green.
Oh.
And so they're not ripened on the vine.
Oh, I never thought about that.
So that's why, my satsuma tangerines.
Yeah.
They're ripened on the vine.
Oh,
So when you're picking them, they're ripe.
I see.
So that's why they're so
So
sweet.
because they have to ship all the fruits and the vegetables they're picking up
like
so
your bananas.
early.
Yeah, your bananas are all
Yes.
green because they all ripen together. So I learned that when my sister lived in Hawaii.
Oh, because they all kind of feed off each other's oxygen and stuff?
Well, they're those huge, it's like a huge banana stalk, and all of them ripen at the same time. So she would be scrambling, trying to figure out what the heck am I going to do with all these bananas and freezing them. And
Does she have a banana tree?
she did.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's so
she
cool.
would get those big old banana things.
We had a
everywhere,
banana tree in the backyard.
You did, and I remember because I did too.
Oh,
but yours
I
got
remember.
so much further than mine. Mine never even produced a pod.
Oh.
Yours got a
yes.
pod.
Totally.
And these little baby bananas came out,
Totally.
but then that was like as far as it went.
Yeah, it didn't
And
go
it's-
any farther.
It's the weather.
And they
It's
were
the weather
bitter.
here. Yeah.
They were super
yeah.
bitter.
Yeah. But yeah, yours got the furthest I've ever seen in California.
That is so funny. That
Yeah.
banana tree took over our backyard.
Yeah, and that's another thing that'll keep coming up every year. Mine would come up. I had a purple banana tree, and it was these beautiful purple leaves.
Ooh, I've never seen that.
And every year it would come up, and then probably after about 5 years or something, it just was gone.
It just died?
It just died.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I never had another purple banana tree
Oh, I'm
again.
so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually had, I mean, I hate like taking stuff out of the yard. I'm always like trying to plant things.
Yes.
But we literally had to remove the banana tree.
Oh, wow.
It was starting to push out our retaining wall
Oh.
with all the rocks and stuff.
Mhm.
Because I guess every time a stalk dies, a
Yes.
new one
A new one comes
out.
Yes.
Yeah. And it just kept growing towards the retaining wall instead of growing
This
out.
way.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, what a bummer. 'Cause
I know.
Yours was.
It was so pretty.
Really pretty.
It just looked
like I said,
so
where
tropical.
it was it would just get so far.
Yeah.
You know? So what'd you end up doing? So you ran out of time yesterday, or
Yeah,
you
I
never
was
made
just
it?
running so
Because I know
many
you had errands. And,
errands.
yeah.
Yeah, I just had a whole to-do list and everything. So, anyways, I was bummed because
Yeah.
I always love just on a sunny day because yesterday was so beautiful.
It
And I
really
hated
was.
that I was like at Walgreens and Target and Walmart. Like,
Doing all that.
yeah,
kind
I
of
was like
stuff,
indoors
yeah.
the whole day, and so I wanted to just browse, Green Acres or Home Depot.
Yeah.
Just when it's like so pretty outside,
I
like
get
you
you.
want to be outside surrounded by
You
the
do.
flowers.
You do.
So I just told myself I'm going to pick one day this week or maybe this weekend and just do that where I can, because Brayden and I always figure out what we're going to plant in the raised bed
raised
on the
bed.
side yard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's where we plant like our vegetables and stuff. And then in the front yard we have 2 areas where we just do flowers. So
Nice.
I'm probably going to talk to Brayden and see if he wants to grow anything.
You
I've
should,
never
yeah.
grown a pumpkin. I've thought about doing that.
I'm telling you, I did pumpkins, and talk about overtaking your entire garden.
Oh.
They will overtake it.
Well, see, I've got that, that bed. Like, what do you call those? A raised bed?
It's a raised
So
bed.
it can't really go anywhere. I mean, it could grow over.
No,
but
I
it-
had a raised bed too.
Oh.
No, what I'm talking about, it will take over your whole garden. They
You
grow.
mean it just keeps growing and
It-
growing like in everything else?
Yes.
Oh. Well, my mom used to grow pumpkins when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And I remember the little vines going, but I don't remember it like interfering because she had watermelon and honeydew and all that
Oh
stuff.
wow. Okay, and
too.
those are all vines too. Because
Yes.
I grew cantaloupe, and I grew. I think I did watermelon. I think I got one.
Oh.
Because it was a raised bed, so you don't
Yes.
have the area.
Yeah.
But pumpkin, I think I did pumpkin, and I got 2 pumpkins.
Oh,
But what
fun.
was so cool about the pumpkins, I will say, was they're ripe right at Halloween time.
And you need to plant them at spring, right?
Oh yeah, you got to plant them
Yeah.
now.
Because
Mhm.
I want to. Last year we missed the mark.
Oh okay. Yeah,
Because I thought I would
right
just
now
start.
is when we need to be planting.
Yeah, because
know.
I think I thought you plant them in the summer and that they would bloom by fall.
Oh,
but I think it's spring
right
to
now.
bloom
I
by
need
fall.
Yeah, in fact, I need to go to Costco. I need to go see if they have those tomato plants because I need to get mine planted.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
get some dirt and all that fun stuff.
Well, I don't think I'm going to plant tomatoes. Will you plant?
that's my
When you
favorite.
plant tomatoes, do you have enough to share?
I might.
Okay. Because maybe I won't do tomatoes. Maybe I'll just let that whole area be for the pumpkin.
And what are you going to share with me?
A pumpkin.
Oh.
You don't want a pumpkin. Sorry. Okay. Do you want me to do bell peppers?
Could you do something else?
Yeah. Do you want me to do green beans or bell peppers?
Bell peppers are easier.
Okay. I love bell peppers.
Yeah, or cucumbers are easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love cucumbers.
Me too.
Okay. Well, maybe let's do cucumbers. Okay, let's do that. Okay.
That'd make a nice salad with the tomatoes and the
right?
cucumbers.
Okay,
Yes,
we'll
yes.
share.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So we also wanted to talk about how our spring got off to an amazing start by a wedding that I was able to take Cynthia as my guest.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately Steve wasn't feeling good enough to go as my guest, and I'll give you guys an update on Steve in just a little bit. But our neighbors that had grown up next door, one of the girls was getting married. Hi, Katie. And her and Matt got married at the, what's that called?
It was called the Grand Island Mansion.
Yes, Grand Island Mansion.
Gosh.
Thank you. And it was so beautiful.
It was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
It's in Walnut Grove. I had never been there, and the wedding venue was absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
If anybody is looking for a place to get married, it is gorgeous. Totally recommend it. And the crazy thing was the spring wedding, and they literally planned for it to be an outdoor wedding. And
the ceremony part.
Yes, the ceremony. Thank you for clarifying.
And you never know what the weather is, I mean, we're dicey around here.
Yes.
In, March,
spring.
April, May.
Yeah.
It literally could be sunshine or rain.
Yeah.
Thunderstorms,
Thunderstorms, you never know. And so when we walked up to the venue, I thought it was going to be an indoor wedding, and it wasn't. All the chairs were set outside, and we both thought, this is wonderful, because it was such a beautiful day outside. And the crazy thing was, is just days leading up to this beautiful wedding, it was storming outside.
Like the week,
there was hail
a week before,
Yes, thunderstorms and everything. So anyhow, it was such a perfect day for an outdoor wedding.
That
and
was our kickoff to spring, for sure.
Yeah,
that really was. I mean, the flowers, the place. I've heard of the Grand Island Mansion and had always wanted to go there. So I was super excited when I got to be her date to go. And not that I was sad for Steve. Yeah. But I was just excited because I'd always wanted to go there. And it literally is a white mansion with the white columns.
It just looks
it looks like it should be like in South Carolina, in Charleston or something, The porches and then the grounds were gorgeous.
And then the inside was just decorated. So gorgeous. We took a ton of pictures. We're going to post some to share with you. We made sure that was okay with the bride and the groom. And the food was amazing.
Everything was great.
Yeah. And it was really fun, too, because they seated us with all of our neighbors. And I think I told you guys that my neighbors are so wonderful. We're all very close. And we do the cookie swaps together.
That's how I know them.
Yes.
Because I go to her cookie swaps since, gosh, it's been years. Like, I don't know, maybe 15 years. I started going to her cookie swap. So I got to meet all the neighbors, so I know them all, too.
Exactly.
Which was super cool.
Which was great, too, because when I reached out to the bride and her mom, I was like, I am so sorry, Steve's not feeling well enough to go, and I would love to bring a date. Can I bring Cynthia? And they all knew her from the cookie swap. So it was perfect. It was just like a neighborhood reunion. We all got to sit at the same table, and it was wonderful.
It was cool. It was so pretty.
Yeah. So congratulations, Katie and Matt.
Yes, definitely congratulations.
Gorgeous. We had so much fun, and we just love you guys.
Yes, and that was, like I said, that was our kickoff to spring.
Yes.
Because that really, really did kick off the sunshine and the flowers and just this time of year.
Yeah, just gets you all excited.
It does.
Because it's been a dreary winter time with all the rain.
I'm such a summer person that to me, I know, especially when, they turn clocks and all that stuff. I know
we're counting down the days to the time change.
No, it already changed.
I know. That's what I said.
Oh, you were counting it down.
We were counting
we
down.
We counted it down. We did.
Trust me. I had my calendar marked for it.
I know. I do too. I have a big sunshine on my calendar.
Yes.
Like, yay, daylight savings time.
I know. It's
now can we just leave it?
Yeah.
Don't mess with it anymore.
Well, and I heard that every president that comes in, but Trump is going to try.
Yeah, so please.
Yeah, we hope this time. Yeah, this time just leave it. We love it this way.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, what's up with Steve? I mean, how is Mr. Steve doing?
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, thanks for asking. So Steve's been having a lot more pain. He did have pain in his back before, and they put him on some medication to, help calm that down. But now his ribs are starting to hurt. So between his back and his ribs and the neuropathy in his feet, which I've had people ask me what's neuropathy, and I feel like I'm so consumed by all of this that I know it. But I know there's a lot of people out there who don't quite know. So the way Steve is experiencing the neuropathy, and this is caused by the chemo, not the cancer, is that his feet feel like they're tingling and on fire. So he found these slippers that are gel, that have like a gel on the inside, and then you put them in the freezer, and you kind of soften them up with your hand, and then you slip them on. So now he has about 8 pairs, and he keeps rotating them on his feet. So when he gets off work, and during the day, he seems to be better. As long as he's moving and he's working and he's focused on work, it seems to not be as bad. But as soon as he gets home, he wants to put those frozen slippers on, and then he'll just say, hey, babe, can you get me a new pair? Yeah, so I'll take off the old ones, put them in Ziploc bags, and then we'll put the new ones on. But when I talked to Steve last weekend, he actually said that it's getting harder for him to get through a work day. And it's getting harder for him to be motivated.
I don't know how he does it. I really don't.
Me too, because I just keep thinking like at some point he's going to, not want to go to work. Like he's going to be...
I mean, I have a hard time just waking up in the morning.
Right.
I don't know how he gets up early and, gets ready and then works a full day. I'm just like, wow.
I know. Me too. But he did say that because we had talked to somebody about purchasing our family business, which is a sign shop, back in August, but Steve wasn't quite ready to sell, and I had encouraged him to sell because I just want him just to enjoy life, and not work.
I so agree.
Right? Yeah. But he loves working. He loves his job.
Yeah, he's totally different than me. That's for sure.
And our industry was a lot different.
Very true.
Right? It's very stressful.
Our industry was more chained to a desk and inside all the time.
Yes.
He's outdoors a lot.
Yeah.
Going
Come
to
and
different,
go
different destinations and
And this is, a business. This year will be 40 years. That we've had the sign business.
That is amazing.
I know.
I couldn't.
Thank you. I couldn't believe it was 40 years.
Yeah.
But I'm super.
Let's go celebrate.
We always looking for a reason to celebrate, right?
Know, right?
So I was really proud of Steve for recognizing that sometimes you have to listen to your body.
Very much.
And I think his body's been trying to tell him calm down, chill down.
My body will. It'll just stop on me because I've just pushed. Like when we did our Vegas trip.
Yeah.
My body, when we got home, done.
Yeah.
You have pushed me for 5 days straight, right?
Yeah, we were texting and she's like, I haven't left the house. I still haven't left the house.
I'm still home.
Yeah.
And she knows how much I don't like being. I am not a homebody.
Yeah, we're not the go girls.
I am the opposite of a homebody.
Right.
I really
Me too.
am.
Which is why I think we get along so well. Because Steve and Braden, they're fine home.
Yeah, and my boys and my husband's the same way. They're more homebodies.
Yeah.
But I guess that's why opposites attract. Sometimes I don't understand how I had 2 sons that were homebodies.
Yes.
I'm like, where did you come from,
Yes. Are you sure you're my kid?
No, because we're so different.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so Steve is going to get a CT scan in about a week.
Oh, good.
And
so it'll give us an update on what's happening
it's been
inside
about 3 months since the last one, and they kind of try to stage them every 3 months just to kind of get an idea. So
of what's going on inside.
We'll appreciate all your prayers and sending good vibes our way that the CT scan is good. And so, we reached out to the potential buyer, and we're just hoping that they're still interested.
Oh, gosh, I hope so.
Just praying all that goes through really fastly, so, Steve could just
we will definitely
not have to think about it.
Have to send all our well wishes to Marilyn and Steve that goes smoothly, and that will be one less giant monkey off her back.
Yeah, it
that's
does.
a lot to take on, if Steve does get very ill.
I feel bad.
Burdened,
if he's not feeling good and then having to deal with the sales. So I'm just praying that all goes through really smoothly.
And I know it will. I know it will, because we're going to have all these people praying for you and bringing you well wishes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, gosh, we a new thing we did this weekend, actually last weekend, was do a little more springy thing.
Yes.
And I was kind of looking around, like, what could we do? 'Cause me and her love to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to go camping or anything.
No.
But we remember, we like to nature walk.
Yeah, just
like
a nature
flowers.
walk, not a hike.
Not a hike. And so I saw that the Asparagus Festival was going on this weekend. And so, actually last weekend, I'm so sorry. And so we did go last weekend, and we had a super fun time. And again, the weather was so perfect.
It was 82 degrees, right?
Sunshine, blue skies. Yeah, I think it was around low 80s. And so it was a little bit of a drive for us.
Yeah.
It was about an hour and 15 from where we live.
It's in Stockton.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you said that.
No.
Okay, it's in Stockton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a little bit of a sketchy town. And we'll get to that in a little bit. Because I thought it was in Lodi.
Well, I honestly think the last time we went, it was in Lodi. I'm guessing. Honestly, I can't remember the last time me and her went.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
She had to remind me that she had been.
Yeah, I was like, I went with you to the Asparagus Festival.
I'm like, I don't even remember. I'm sorry.
Yes, I remember lots of things about the day, but I thought it was in Lodi. So when she said it was in Stockton, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
We don't have a bodyguard.
No,
we don't have Darren.
Yeah, Darren, where were you?
Yeah, we needed a bodyguard like Fremont Street in Vegas.
Right. But anyway, so it was a nice drive, though. Had the sunroof open.
Yeah.
And, we did our little Starbucks run. So the only time I go to Starbucks is when me and her have an adventure.
Yeah.
And we go to Starbucks. And so it is really a big treat for me because I don't have it every day like so many people do.
Yeah, I don't either. I make mine at home.
Yeah, that's true.
Ever since I stopped working, Steve bought me the espresso maker. He's like, there, have at
it. There you go. Yeah, way cheaper, right?
Yeah, so much cheaper.
Yeah, so we did get that, and that was a super yummy treat, and drove down there. And so we got there, and then...
Do you remember when we were in the parking lot and the parking attendant?
Going into it, the parking guy. He's handing me, you have to pay like $10 to park. So then he's handing me a ticket, and he's looking at me, and he goes, were you here yesterday? And I said, no.
And I'm like, does somebody else look like her?
Now, I will say I have sunglasses on, right?
Yeah.
And I said, does somebody look like me? And then Marilyn pipes up, and she's like, and does somebody look like me? Is there somebody that looks like
both of us? Like, no way. Like, I pride myself on not looking like
anyone. He's like cracking up.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, no.
He leans
He's
down.
almost like, okay, forget it,
Never mind. I tried really hard to not look like anybody. And then Cynthia, she said, that's because you're a twin. And I was
that's true. But,
I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because everybody always got us confused.
Yes.
But
what was kind of funny about the whole situation was, so my sister was here from Idaho last week for a funeral. And we had this whole conversation. She says, do people ask you, like, come up to you and say, are you so-and-so, you look like so-and-so or whatever? And I said, no, I never get that, that somebody thinks I look like somebody.
Right.
And she goes, wow. She goes, I get that all the time. So, like 2 days later, we go to the Asparagus Festival, and the guy's going, were you here yesterday? And I'm like, no.
But that's so random.
That is so funny that here's somebody asking me that.
Yes.
After I just told her, no, nobody ever says that to me.
Right. And then it happens.
Exactly. So anyway, then we park, and we get in there, or we're walking. And I think the first thing we noticed was they had that big sign out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, about your purses.
The size of your purse and what you could take in and what you couldn't take in. And so if you had something bigger than, like this big.
It was like that big.
I mean, I don't even know a purse
was like
that
the
small.
sign of a wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably one of those cell phone purses.
Yeah.
That you can put a cell phone in and maybe
a key,
credit card.
And your lipstick or something.
That's about it. Yeah. I think that was like the size, so we're like looking at her.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't plan ahead.
Yeah, but we did have little crossbodies on, right? Small ones, about like that, right? So I'm
But then there was a guy that was selling the clear bags.
So here's a vendor in front of the whole place.
Yeah, like
selling clear
making
bags.
money on all of our ignorance about what size bag we're supposed to be able to bring in there.
So here's these ugly, like, drawstring. You know, there's little cheapy clear backpacks.
Yeah, it was like a clear backpack.
Yeah, for $10. $10. So I'm like, I really don't want to spend. I said, we just spent $10 to park.
Yeah.
It's going to cost to get in. I didn't even know how much that was yet.
Right.
And I really didn't want to spend another $10 on a clear
and walk around with a plastic backpack.
That I would never use again.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So the security guy was out there. So I'm like, can you kind of look at our purses and tell us, you know, do you think we'll be able to get in, you know? And he's like, well, hers looks like I think she'll make it, but I don't think you will. And I'm like, well, gosh, I don't even think mine's that much bigger than
hers was longer.
And fatter, probably, huh?
And a little fatter. Mine was a little bit taller, maybe a little thinner.
Okay, maybe mine was lengthwise a little longer.
But really, I mean, very comparable.
Very,
right?
Very similar.
But we thought, well, let's just take our chances.
Well, and that's what he said too, you can try. And I just figured all they can do is say no, right? So we did go, so we're standing there talking, and then all of a sudden we're kind of saying, okay, well, I guess we have to go over here first to go buy the tickets to get in, and then you go back in line,
Get in line, And there was a short line, and there was a long line.
Yeah, which I still do not know the difference.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
But while we were standing there, because he directed us over to the booth.
I do know the difference.
What?
Oh, I don't.
And like, I was all excited.
I know, so was I. Because I remember reading that it said for people that pre-bought tickets, this is the line, because you could have bought them online.
Oh.
And if you hadn't pre-bought and you bought the tickets, you went in this line. So I think that was the shorter line that people had pre-bought.
But everybody had to buy the tickets in order to get in the line.
No, you could have bought them online.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Then you do know what the line was.
Right.
Because you said, no, I don't.
I didn't.
But you do.
But now I just remembered.
Okay.
Yeah.
She does.
No, I just remembered that's what it was. It was like if you had purchased online and already had tickets, you got to go in this line. But if you had to buy tickets, then you went back in this long line.
The long line.
Yeah.
Okay, so so I asked the gentleman, you know, what are the lines for? He said, well, you buy your tickets at the booth and then you get in the line.
Right.
And so there was a lady that was standing in the long line. And she goes, I have an extra ticket if you girls haven't bought your tickets. And I was like, are you serious?
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So she gave us the ticket. So then Cynthia and I decided we'll just go to the booth and I'll split the cost of the other ticket with you, right?
Yeah. So we went up. Yeah, bought the other ticket.
So we got in for $5.
Yeah.
Tickets were $10, right?
Yes.
So then I walked back to the security guard because I'm thinking, I don't want to wait in that long line.
Well, we kind of didn't really know where to go, though.
No.
Right? I mean, we kind of was like, why is this line this way and why is it?
Right.
I hadn't noticed that before.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I walk up to the security guard, super nice man.
Yeah.
I already could tell that he was like bonding with us when we were talking about the purse size and stuff. So I thought instead of just, going to the back of the long line, I would just walk up to that sweet man and I would just say, how do we know which line to get into?
Yes.
And so he just kind of stared at me for a few seconds.
Yep. He stared at her and he goes, you just have the sweetest voice, so you guys just go right in here to the short line.
And I was like,
so we're like,
thank you so much, right?
Yeah.
And then this lady was in the long line right behind the security guard, and she goes, you've got to be kidding me.
She was not happy.
She was not happy.
Because, and to tell you the truth, I can't blame her.
Yep, I would have been mad too.
They've probably been standing in that long line.
Yes.
And here the security guy is just shuffling us into the short
yes.
line. And so she's like, you have got to be kidding me. And he goes, and I knew he didn't want to start a ruckus, Yeah. We didn't want to start a riot.
Yeah, riot.
We got moved up.
Some girl gets to cut in line with her friend.
So he goes, okay, come on. Like her and her husband.
Yeah,
Come on. And so they got behind us, and she's just kind of glaring.
She was kind of glaring at me.
Glaring at us.
Yeah, and I'm just like, hey, if I didn't say anything, you wouldn't have even got to get in the short line.
Exactly.
But what I said to her was...
Or you said it to him, too, right? Didn't you say it to both of them?
Well, no, I don't.
You were saying it to her.
I said it just to her.
I gotcha.
Because I could tell she was giving me the stink eye.
Yeah, she was doing the stink eye to us, for sure.
But the thing is that if I hadn't done what I said, she wouldn't have got out of the long line.
Exactly.
So I thought, I'm just going to be nice and I'm going to be funny. I always try to charm people with funniness because it does seem to diffuse people.
Yes.
So I said, girl, I don't get up at 6 a.m. and do my hair and my makeup and all this for no perks at all. I have to have a perk for doing all this. And she actually laughed and said,
did laugh.
Yeah. She's like, good on you, right? So, anyhow.
I was cracking up. I was totally cracking up.
Because sometimes you just got to throw on the charm a little bit, right? And I did kind of use my,
she totally
higher,
did. Oh my God.
demure, sweet voice
Yes,
to the
she
security
did.
guard. But hey, if it works, you got to try it.
Yeah.
And anyways.
You got it, flaunt it, right?
Right. I mean, the charm. It's all about the charm.
Yes, it was
just
about
being
the charm.
nice.
And being nice. And that's it. I think he was kind of mesmerized with her, and so with her. And so he was just like, oh, come on.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much just escorted us right to the shoreline.
It was so sweet. So anyway, so we got to the short line.
Yes.
And so going into, and mind you, this is an asparagus festival.
Yes.
Now, I do know about 3 years ago, there was a shooting at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. That's about 3 hours away from us. And I did go to that that's probably been 5 years ago. And when they did have that, which was probably 3 years ago, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, come on.
Yeah.
You people,
It's not like...
this is a food festival.
Yeah, with families.
Come on.
I mean, it almost makes you scared to go anywhere. And honestly, I didn't even know about that shooting at the Gilroy Garlic Festival.
Wow. Yeah.
But I was just nervous being there just because it was Stockton. No hard feelings to anybody from Stockton. I know several people that grew up in Stockton, and they used to have to run home after school. They were afraid to get beat up. So that's just in my mind.
That could be anywhere, though.
Right.
Seriously.
So true.
That could be anywhere.
That is very true.
It's just known to have a little more crime than where we live.
Right.
And so anyway, so when you did go in, so they're checking your bag, right? And this is where I didn't know if we were going to get stopped.
Yeah, because he said
bags.
you might get checked, know, by the security guards.
But the guy seriously just opened up our bags, never even said one thing about
no,
what
he
the
moved a
size
couple of
of
things
it
around
was or anything.
I think he was just looking for a gun.
Yeah,
they just want to make sure you have no mace or a gun
or a box cutter or whatever, right? So anyway, so he looked through it and said, okay, you're good. And I thought, phew, I am so glad I did not spend an extra $10 at the clear bag place, you know? And I got through with that. And then you are literally shook down.
Yeah, it was like a shakedown. It was like the airport.
It was like the airport. I felt like I was going through TSA. I mean, so then we had to get wanded.
Yeah.
Right?
All around your armpits, your crotch, like
everything.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was just, and honestly,
like, man, we're going to an asparagus.
Yes. But
what does it come to?
I know. But I did feel safe. I thought, okay, I know I'm a safe person. I know I'm not going to shoot nobody. Right. But the fact that they were, being so cautious made me feel so much safer being there.
Yeah. Very true.
So
me too.
I'm grateful for that.
I appreciated it.
Yes.
Doesn't bother me at all to do it because I have nothing to hide. And so, no, I do appreciate it.
It's just sad.
It is sad.
Yeah.
That you can't go to a freaking food festival without them shaking you down.
Yeah, because of all the bad people that ruined it for all the good people.
But
that's annoying.
Yeah. But we got in.
Yeah, like an hour later. After all this. I even told her, like, when we got inside and realized how big this venue was, I'm like, I'm not even sure we're going to finish it in one day.
I know. She's like, are we going to be able to see everything in one day? And I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll be fine.
Totally.
You know?
And there was a whole carnival. Like,
yeah, this one, so... I think, obviously, I'd been with her once before, and I'd been with my other friend Cheryl once before. It was not like this.
No.
So this was done at a fairgrounds. So they had not only all the vendors and the food trucks and all that for the Asparagus Festival.
Yeah.
It had an entire carnival going.
Yeah.
So they had all the rides for the kids, which was great because that's like an all-day thing for families, to do.
Yeah, at least it gives the kids something to look forward to because I'm sure the kids don't want no deep-fried asparagus or asparagus ice cream.
Yeah. Maybe the ice cream they might like.
Oh, my Lord.
But anyway, so it was big, I will say.
Yeah.
It was really nice. And the weather was gorgeous. Like we said, it was just like, wow, is this like the best day ever?
It was so perfect. I was so excited when we were walking around and I go, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And they actually had African daisies planted everywhere.
Yeah, it was so funny. She's like, oh, look, they got African daisies,
yes.
you know?
It was so beautiful.
Yeah. And the first thing we saw, they had the Tesla truck out there, and for view. And I've seen them. I don't think they're the most gorgeous looking truck I've ever seen. I think they're kind of space agey looking.
Yeah.
But I was curious as what the inside looked like.
Yeah.
And I had never seen it inside.
Yeah, because I just pictured like Tesla and it's like so state of the art. I figured it was going to be like super cushy and lush and just, I did imagine a big computer screen.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I mean, it was like a whole computer in that.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, it was like a whole laptop in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like really big.
But it wasn't plush.
It wasn't plush.
Yeah.
Like, I was so shocked it wasn't plush.
No, not at all.
You wanted to talk about the steering wheel.
Well, I think that's the only thing I was curious or amazed by was the steering wheel of this, because it's a big truck, you know. That thing's big. The steering wheel is literally this big.
Like
and
an
it's
oblong.
It's an oval. And driving.
Yeah, it seems kind of weird. I felt like it needed like a beefy steering wheel.
Beefy steering wheel,
Yeah.
that you drive this big. And he was saying that all the wheels move like that. You know, you've seen that on TV, those commercials, all the move, they move.
All-wheel drive
But
or
yeah,
something?
the steering wheel's literally that big.
Yeah.
I just thought that was odd.
It was crazy.
It just didn't kind of match to me. I mean, the computer was bigger than the steering wheel.
Yeah. I mean, the computer was like, sorry, I don't want to go in your space. It was like that big.
Well, it was like a laptop.
Oh, and then the rearview mirror was like this big.
It was like this little teeny, weeny thing up there. So I said, why is the rearview mirror so tiny? But he did say because as soon, as you put that car into reverse, this whole screen's going to be behind you.
Right.
So you didn't.
The screen turns to a view behind you. Mm-hmm.
But even when you're driving, when the car is on. So you see behind you on that gigantic.
Oh.
So that was cool.
Yeah, that is very cool.
Yeah, you see everything behind you as you're driving.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because then you can kind of be prepared for something.
So that's why the rearview mirror, I guess it's just a tiny one for people who are used to just glancing up or whatever.
Need to see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So. But the inside it looked just like an empty.
It wasn't
it was empty. And there was just a bucket seat, and then a back seat. It was really...
And I will say it is weird to see the front. They opened up the front to show you the compartment, in the front, that there's no engine or anything.
It's just like a trunk, like a little storage area.
And then the back is a huge, space because it is a truck.
Right.
So it does have like a whole
storage,
the storage for your truck and stuff. So anyway, that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'd always wondered what they look like.
What it looked like.
If you guys were curious now you know too. It's just empty. I mean, it literally just looked like they stuck a bucket seat, a computer screen, a tiny steering wheel, a little rearview mirror, and then just a bench in the back. It was
so needless to say, we weren't super duper impressed.
No.
Right? Yeah.
But for all you Tesla fans,
yes, I'm sure you love it. I'm sure you love it.
Because I think the cars are cool.
Yeah.
It's just this truck.
Yeah.
It's just not pretty.
It's just not my thing. But I mean, if you're, there are those people who love to have the newest thing. That's their thing. They love to get the newest thing when it comes out. And I get it, because you're right. People stare, people look, because it is different and it is cool and it's very space agey.
Yeah.
So I get it, but for me, not so much. No, I'm more of a, Corvette.
Yeah, she likes Corvettes.
I'm more of a Corvette person.
Yeah, she's a sports car girl.
I love the sports cars, But anyway, so we did shopping. They had tons of vendors, huh?
Yeah, I was really impressed with the vendors.
Yes.
Because it wasn't like all the stuff that we had seen when we were shopping at Christmas time.
Right, like at all the other booths, you know? Yes,
there was new stuff.
Very new things, and I think you got a couple things, right?
I love coconut oil. I use coconut oil all over, my skin. And so this girl had made coconut oil that was scented with like 10 or 15 different fragrances. Sorry, I couldn't say it. And so the one that I got was Hawaiian citrus.
Yeah,
it was just
smelled
very
so good.
Soft, like just a little sweet and a little citrusy.
Reminded me of Hawaii.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
And we love Hawaii.
Well, I'm on the countdown.
Okay, that's right.
I'm on the countdown. Yeah, I've got 26 days to go.
She's going for a week, right?
For a week, yeah.
A whole week.
On Mother's Day.
Yay!
Yeah, so I'm on the countdown. So me and my son are on the countdown. Yeah.
That'll be so fun.
So Hawaiian Citrus was like, brings me to the islands. Yes. I love it.
And then I got an air plant. I've never had an air plant.
Yeah, we've been looking for that, right? Or I think a succulent. Have you thought of a succulent?
Well, I didn't want a succulent. I really wanted an air plant, but they're hard to find.
So how long have you had this macrame holder, though?
Okay, so we had talked about this on the podcast at Christmas time.
Okay.
Because I bought a macrame plant holder, just a tiny one from this sweet girl that was making them herself so that she could raise money to for horse shows. She has a horse and it costs a lot of money.
I totally forgot about that. That's right.
She was making them and selling them so that she could pay for her horse shows and take care of her horse, and she was just the sweetest little thing.
Such a good memory.
I just love talking to people, and their stories stick with me. And I thought I cannot walk away from this booth with this sweet girl. I mean, she was probably like 14, 13 or 14.
Young. Yeah, she was young.
And the fact that she makes them all herself, and she started this little business. She had it on Etsy. I'm so sorry, I can't remember the name of the business. Yeah. But anyhow, I've had this little macrame plant holder since Christmas.
So that was before Christmas. Yeah. Because I remember you got that at the Folsom.
It was the Folsom Peddlers Fair.
That's like the beginning of December.
Yeah.
So she's had it for months.
And honestly, I haven't been very diligent about looking for a plant to put in it. But I thought when I'm out and about, I'll look. So
I just know I've been with you a couple times.
Yeah.
And you kind of looked like for something little to put in there. So
So the air plants are really cool because they do not need to be in dirt, and they just kind of look like Medusa. Like there's different styles, but the one that we liked kind of looked like Medusa with all these tentacles.
It was super cool looking.
Coming out.
It looked like Medusa because of all of her arms coming out, and this one looked like a upside down octopus.
Kind of a little bit like Ursula too from like Little Mermaid.
Oh.
With all of her tentacles, I don't know.
Yeah, like an octopus.
Yeah. So,
upside down, though.
Yeah, upside down. So anyway, it fit perfect in that little macrame thing.
Well, so when I came over today and I looked I saw her window because I had to let her dog out, and I'm like, oh, she's got the little air plant up there. And so I'm like, wow. So I was telling her, I said, I can't believe that little plant fit in this little votive she had, and it fit in there like perfect. Like it was made for that. Like she should think about that. Like when she makes those, she should put a votive in it.
Oh, yeah.
She really should. Because it might be hard for people to find something. You just happen to have one.
I just happened to. It was wire.
Perfect.
And what was great, too, about the wire one, because I did try to put a glass one inside the macrame holder, but it was very slippery, and I thought it might slip out.
I bet it would slip.
Yeah. But I had a wire votive holder that had a glass insert inside of it. I took the glass out, used the wire, so I was able to wrap the macrame in between the wire to secure it.
I gotcha.
And then I kind of nestled the air plant into some napkins that were the same color that I kind of hid in there so that it would stay sturdy.
Well, she had said, be sure it's by a window because it does need light.
And then it would bloom.
Yeah, and then we saw one. Well, actually, it was a little bit different of a breed, but they do have these little orange flowers
that bloom right out of the middle.
Blooms. Yeah,
it was so cool.
So anyway, so then she had hung it on with this little command strip on the window, right? And so you were telling me about these new ones.
Yes.
It's so cute.
I totally was freaking out. So when I was thinking I should put it in the window, like hang it in the window so it has direct sunlight.
Right.
In my mind, I was thinking, I've seen suction cups that have a little hook on it.
Yeah, they have like hooks or, little white hooks or little wire hooks.
Yeah.
Nothing beautiful.
Nothing cute. And I thought, well, as long as it's very minimal, then it won't show, and then it won't, distract from my pretty macrame with the air plant. Yeah. But I also love command strips, and I've used command strips for so many different things. But when I got to Walmart and I was looking at the whole wall of command strips, they have the cutest freaking ones now. I was so excited because, I just love everything sparkly. It literally is like a clear diamond, and it's like this big around. I'm trying to show, I'm going to say, since this isn't working, I'm going to say it's probably the size of a nickel.
Okay.
But, and it's so cute. So the backing of the command strip.
I have never seen them.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Because when I went, I was like, like, I'm just going to end up getting something very,
Must be a new thing
Yeah,
then, huh?
I totally think so. So the back of the command strip is clear. The little crystal diamond is clear. And so you literally hang things on this crystal that looks like a little fake diamond. So anyways,
instead of a hook. I mean, that's genius.
It was adorable. It was perfect.
Why didn't we invent that?
I know. I think about this all the time. I mean, I know Command kind of has a market on it, but I should have thought about it.
Oh, dang
Anyways, so it just looks totally cute. I'm glad you saw it. Because I didn't point it out to you.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then, so what do you go to the Asparagus Festival for? Deep fried asparagus.
Yeah.
So we kind of shopped and looked all around.
Yeah, because we weren't hungry.
A couple hours.
Yeah.
And we kept saying, well, we're going to wait till we're really starving.
Yeah, so we can
so we
dig
can go
in.
have that deep fried asparagus.
Yes.
And seriously, the last time I was there, that line was wrapped around and so long that I remember thinking, well, gosh, we shouldn't wait till we're starving,
Yeah.
because we're going to wait another hour in line,
probably in
right,
line.
until you get it. Luckily, we walked in, and I will say we were there on the last day. So it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we went Sunday.
Yeah.
So, boy,
It wasn't-
and that's the time to go.
Yeah, it wasn't as crowded.
It was not. And there was no line. I mean, there was probably 10 people in front of us. So I'm like, what? This is great,
Totally.
right? So, luckily, we didn't have to stand in line for an hour to find out we couldn't have it. But we did stand for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we walked up there, and Marilyn asked, which is great, that she wanted to make sure that the batter did not have any garlic or onion in it.
Onion powder.
Yeah,
garlic
powder, any of that in there. And the girl actually had an entire board with every single ingredient.
Yeah,
that
all
was
blown up on it.
Yeah, which was great.
Yeah.
Because I guess these days so many people have allergies that they deal with this. So they want to be perfectly clear.
Yeah, they don't want
this
anybody
is what's in it. And coming back at them. And
Yeah,
saying,
anaphylactic or
Yeah,
something.
their throat's closing up. Even though that doesn't happen to her, but she
Yeah.
gets way sick. So anyway, at the very bottom was garlic powder. And I'm like, really?
I was
and
so
I
annoyed.
said, oh my gosh, I did not know it had garlic powder in it. And the girl said, because you know how they say the ingredients, the most prominent ingredient is at the top.
Yeah.
The least amount is at the bottom.
Exactly.
This literally was, I think, second to the last.
Yeah, because
right?
because she was just like, oh no, and I'm like, you know what? It's so low on the ingredient list. I think that I can eat it.
Yeah, because she did eat it before.
I did.
Yeah.
Like 5 years ago
5 years,
went.
whenever we went, yeah.
And I also brought a ginger beer with me.
Yes, she
It's
did.
non-alcoholic. It's just ginger beer actually calms my stomach.
Yeah, she carried it with her just in
In
case
my
she
bag.
ate something. Because all these food trucks are, we had no idea what we were going to be
I didn't know it.
trying or tasting or
Exactly.
whatever.
And I thought if I could drink a ginger beer,
Should be
then
good,
it
right?
would calm my stomach down if I had accidentally eaten garlic.
Yeah, but
so
then
I was feeling confident.
She was going to do
Yeah,
it.
I was like, I'm all in. Let's do it. It's very low on the ingredient list.
Yep. And then the girl goes, but they're very garlic forward. And I'm like,
Yeah. She was trying to tell us that they have a very garlic taste.
which I've never tasted that. But I did not want her to get sick. And she was, like, well, Cynthia, you get it. You
Yeah, because I didn't want to deprive her. I felt horrible.
And oh, no. And I said, there's no way I can eat that entire basket.
It's like a huge
It's
basket.
this big old thing of
And the
they're like
asparagus,
that long.
are super long.
Super
and
long.
If you guys go, you
Crunchy
need to
and
get
yummy
it because they
and-
are just like crusted in that flaky
Yummy.
breading. Oh,
Yeah.
so
I said, no. I said, I can't eat it all, so I'm not going to waste my money on buying that and
just to eat two or
eat
three.
2 of them and throw it away. So
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, it's all right. I don't have to have it. I'll do it at home or something, right?
Yeah, we should try to make them.
Okay.
Because now I'm like craving it.
Yeah, and I can. I've made it with tempura batter.
Oh.
And it's really good.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, we'll
just
that.
have a fun afternoon one day.
Okay, that
and
sounds
make
fine. We'll have our own little asparagus festival.
Yeah.
So there.
So there.
With no garlic powder.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, so then, well, now we're hungry.
Yeah.
Because
Now I'm
we
like,
waited.
yeah. I was all excited to eat that.
So we had seen this ice cream kind of food truck thing, trailer or whatever. And they had really cute little ice creams that were rippled with different flavors and all this stuff swirled. And I saw that they had Dole Whip. And I'm like, oh, I love a Dole Whip. And so Marilyn had never had a Dole Whip. And I'm like, did you do anything in Hawaii when you went to Hawaii?
I know.
It's like, but then I forgot. She's only been to Maui. She has not been to Oahu.
No.
So I told her, I said, one day, when
we need to go to
when
Oahu.
We win the lottery and we get rich, we need to go to Oahu together.
I want to go so bad.
Because there's so many fun things to do, and there's these little tours, and I said, and the Dole Plantation is one of them. So that's where I had Dole Whip before. Back then, you couldn't get Dole Whip out here. Well, now it's out here. Everybody has Dole Whip now. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people, So anyway, they had the Dole Whip.
I was so excited.
I love a cone. So I said, gosh, eating it out here in the sun, I know I'd be like licking it, trying to keep it from melting, right? So then I thought, I wonder if they'll give me a cup, and then do the cone on top. You know how they do like
because I was like, you should just ask him for the cone on top.
Yeah, and I said, I'll pay extra, to have a cup. She says, oh, no, it's okay, So they literally put this big old honk of Dole Whip in there, did the cone on top, and then Marilyn just got the cup. And so we found this really nice shaded picnic table.
Yes.
And
it was beautiful.
Yeah, we sat down there in the shade and we just gobbled up our Dole Whip. And now Marilyn has had Dole Whip.
It was so good. It reminded me of like a self-serve sorbet. Because I always thought it was going to be more like a whipped cream because it's called Dole Whip.
Because of the whip part.
Yeah, I didn't know it was more of like a sorbet ice cream soft serve.
Soft serve?
Yeah.
But not ice cream, more kind of in between sorbet and ice cream.
Yeah.
It is creamy.
Yeah.
And it's not, because sorbet is more icy. But it's delicious.
It was so good. It was so refreshing.
I love them. And now I want to take her to the Dole Plantation.
I know. I need to win the lottery. I want to go.
Oh my gosh, because it's just cute. And then you see where it was invented.
Yeah, I've never done any tours in Hawaii.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we've only gone to Kaanapali in Maui.
Yeah.
Both times we went to Hawaii, we went to the same hotel, the same island, the same place.
Wow. Yeah.
I just didn't know enough about Hawaii. And honestly, if I would have known that you were such a Hawaii girl, I would have been like, where else should we go?
Well, and honestly, though, I think when you had gone, I had gone to Maui as many. Remember, my sister moved there, and I think this is all after you got married and all that kind of stuff.
Because I haven't been since before Braden was born.
Yeah, she hasn't been in
19 years.
I would have shriveled up and died if I had not been to Hawaii.
She needs her Hawaii fix.
I have to go every year.
It's just so expensive.
Every year. It's really not. It really isn't. I mean, when you do it, and actually, like when I go with a girlfriend, because I said, my husband's not a traveler.
Right.
I think I've been to Hawaii with him about 5 times. It's just not his thing.
Well, it was expensive because Steve and I went.
Exactly.
And we paid for the 2 of us.
Exactly.
But if I go with you,
we split it.
Halfway. Right,
it's halfway. Yeah. And let me tell you, splitting things, even your meals, everything, it's so doable.
Yeah, because we do that a lot. Like when we go to Vegas, we share a lot of stuff.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that too. But I'm just saying is that when you go as a couple, it's when the meal is,
you got the whole ticket.
$100, right?
Yeah.
And if it's $100 dinner, we split it.
Yeah.
So it's just cheaper.
Right.
It's so much cheaper when you go.
Well, maybe we should look at it.
I know. We really need to. Maybe, later in the year or something. We'll see. We shall see.
We'll see
but
how
anyway,
everything works out.
Anyway, so spring is sprung. We're super excited. We love all the things that we're going to do this summer. We're going to think of tons of things to do.
I know. It's like I'm so inspired because the sun is out and the flowers are blooming.
And we just love it. We're just, we just love that
kind of stuff. Girls.
We are sunshine girls.
We love the sunshine.
So we hope you are out enjoying your sunshine.
Yes, making fun plans.
Yes, and doing fun things outdoors. Like I said, I don't know weather-wise across the nation what it's like, but California, Northern California, it's actually beautiful. So we are we're blessed.
Yes, we are. And I wanted to say, if there's people that are in Sacramento area or even within a couple hours, like Bay Area, if there's places that you guys have been to that you think her and I would love, since we love being outside in the sunshine, drop us a comment because we don't know everything there is to do. Like, we're still learning about different things going on, and we've lived here pretty much our whole life. So if you guys think of something that you think we should do or that we don't know about, like, comment and let us know.
Yeah, just let us know, and we'll try to check it out.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we hope you've enjoyed our Spring is Sprung, and we've enjoyed doing it, and we hope to catch you on the next one.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
Bye.
Bye.